Phase three, once you've locked in something satisfactory, whatever that is for you, then you make the big call, right? And that big call is going to be get out, go to the cage and walk away, or hit the gas. Either way you want to do it. Today we did a little bit, and I think today's going to be one of the more important ones. I think all these lessons are important, but today I think is going to be one that I'm really excited about getting into with you. Let's remind ourselves of like where we are and why we're here. Right? Goals. Today's going to be a goal talking day. It's kind of a combo, goal and bankroll today. This is where we start bringing it all together, right? We've talked about like your mindset and your bankroll and your money management, and we've talked about comp play. We've talked about the math. We've talked about everything. We've shown you all the core ways to play, right? The start small, the start big, the start in the middle, the collecting, the pressing, all the different patterns you can follow, right? All that stuff together makes your strategy. Your bankroll dictates most of it. And I think let's turn the corner here and talk about bringing it all home, okay? And to that end, here in session 17, I want to revisit a topic that I did years ago, and I don't talk about it enough anymore, and it's phased play. And I think this is one of those things I think that separates at least me from most people. But I think you talk to guys that have been playing craps their whole lives, they may or may not realize they're doing this. They haven't put a name to it yet, but they're playing in what's called, I think, a phased manner. And I used to give the baseball analogy, right? Get him on, get him over, get him in, right? Like walk a guy, bunt him over to second base, single to get him home. That's kind of how I look at phased craps, right? You can think of it as parts of a football game if you want to, but to me, I approach it like this. Phase one, get my money back. Simple. Whatever you're doing out there, I don't care if it's a $12 six and that's your only bet. Don't do anything else until you get that money back in your rack. That's number one. Get the money back. If you're 64 across, you better win $65. If you're going 44 inside, you better win $44. If you're going 330 inside, you better win 330 before you make your next move. That's phase one. Phase one is focus time. Get your money off that freaking table. Okay. Once you have your money back, now you're playing for free, quote unquote. You got house money out there. You got profit play. I call it a leveraged play. You're playing with only winnings, so you cannot lose. That's important part of phase one, is make sure that your next move is played without risk. Because in phase two, without risk, you're looking to lock the win. Now you take a hit or two, a couple of rolls, a couple of spins, a couple of hands, lock in the win. Right? Now that win, you could be targeting a win on a per shooter or a per session or a per series basis. In other words, if I'm at roulette and I got $1,000 and I break it into 10 series of $100, each series is trying to win, let's say $20. And I go out there with a small set of bets and I win enough money to go back out there to win my $20 on leveraged money. That's what I'm talking about. In craps, it might be per shooter. You might say, you know what, I'm going to go out 160. My goal on this shooter is to earn at least $50. So you take a couple of hits and you got your 160 back in your rack. You got 160 out there, and you're gonna make another stronger move. Cool. That's phase two. Phase two, lock in a win. Because remember, after phase one, you got your money back. After phase two, whatever comes off the table is locked. That's beautiful, right? Phase three, once you've locked in something satisfactory, whatever that is for you, then you make the big call, right? And that big call is going to be get out, go to the cage and walk away, or hit the gas. Either way you want to do it. Today we did it in our third shooter today. We had a drawdown. We drew down, we drew down, we drew down. I got even, and then I had made the call. I could take the money off the table and go to the cage, or we can now hit the gas. We hit the gas and that threw a 7, right? It happens. But this is a bankroll mindset. This is not about strategy today, right? Your bankroll decides all of this. How much do you have out there to get started with? How are you getting that money back? How much do you want to lock after you have it back and you're playing for free? And then once you got your quote unquote real lock, what are you doing? Cage, or are you hitting them hard? You got to make that call. That's your phase three play. Again, phase one, phase two, and then you got to make a call. And it's to me, the 3 phases. Now, within those phases, revisit the play styles. What's the best play style for you that hits the goal in each phase? What's the best way that you got, that you trust, that you've practiced that will get you your money back quickly, right? Is it same betting 3 times? Is it going big and taking one hit and then that's your phase 1 play, right? Are you going to go out there with tiny bets and do 3 full presses and then come back down? Is that your phase 1 play? You got to decide what you're going to do. And again, I can't tell you that. You got to say, this is the way I like to do it. This is the way that I trust when I'm throwing, or when I'm on the, when I see the, the nice thick count in a blackjack shoe. This is what I do. However you're doing it, pick the play style that fits each phase best for you. And it may be the same for all the phases. Okay. Phase 1, get it back, right? I'm looking at 1 to 3 decisions if I can help it, right? 1 to 3 hands in baccarat or blackjack, 1 to 3 rolls on a roulette table, 1 to 3 spins on a roulette table, 1 to 3 throws on a craps table. What's the best way to get the money back? And how much money am I then ready to play with, right? It could be that I went out there for, let's say, $64 across, and I took 2 hits and I got $45 in the rack. That might be enough to say, you know what? I take the money off the table and my money's back in the rack, right? And I got $44 left over. That might be good enough for you. Get your money off the table, set yourself up for your second phase, right? Remember this. If you play in a way that in 2 or 3 decisions gets your money back fully in the rack, that's 100% profit. And you cannot forget that. If you go out there for $64 across in a craps table and you win three times, right? That's $45. The 4th win that gets you to about $60, right? That's 100% profit. Where in the world are you getting 100% profit in 15, 20 minutes? It never happens, right? No, you would marry your financial advisor if they got you 100% profit in that short of amount of time. Remember that, okay? Your get it back phase 1 could be your only play. When I'm paycheck playing in the garage, I'm playing a phase 1 system and I'm done. I'm going to the cage. I never go to phase 2 or phase 3, right? My paycheck play is phase 1 and home, right? Because it is 100% profit. Remember that as you go through. But if you're going to keep on playing, now you've got your money back, 100% of your profits out there on the table, potentially, right? You might even keep a little extra back. And now you're in phase 2. Now you're freewheeling, right? And again, don't freewheel for very long. Get a couple of decisions out of it. 2, 3 decisions, couple of rolls, couple spins, right? Hit your win goal here. If I went out there for, let's say, again, 160 across and I won 160, my rack is full, right? I'm playing with 160 for free. I have 2 choices. I could have actually taken another $50 off the table and locked up 50 and played with like $96, right? Or 2 more hits, lock up 70, $80, right? With the freewheel. Now I'm done, right? I've hit my win goal for that shooter, that session, whatever it is. Again, decision time, right? My rack is reset. It's complete. I've got some profit locked in the rack. I can walk to the cage with that profit and be happy. And I still got the money that I wanted to play with out there. My leveraged play is out there. And that brings you to phase 3 where you make your call. Make the call. Option 1, stop. If I'm paycheck playing, if I'm bankroll building, and I'm only there to build bankroll for the next couple of times, right? You stop playing. If you're there to set yourself up for another run, let's say that you had phase 1 work, you got your money back with a tiny bit of profit. Go out there for phase 2, bang, bang, bang. You lock up your session goal, right? I'm set up to either restart phase 1 again, right? Or go with option 2 here, and now it's time to hit the gas. And a lot of people go hit the gas. Let's go, right? Play your home run thing, pressing, progressing, switching to something different. I've seen people do phase 3 where they got a pass line bet for $10 and they go out there with phase 1 with an across bet, take a couple of hits, bring their money back down, take a couple of hits, and put all the winnings on the odds. And their phase 3 play, their hit the gas play is like, my money's back. I got an extra $50 in profit that's locked up. I'm going to just jack the rest of it on the odds and let's take one, let it happen. Let the 32 roller go by. Don't worry about it, right? Your choice here. Your make the call choice. And you can't make a bad choice here because if you get to phase 3, you have your money back. You have profit locked up for this session or this series or this shooter. And now you're playing on leveraged cash, right? That leveraged cash can come home and set you up for tomorrow. That might be your first bet the next day, that extra little money. Or it could be the fuel to let you go for that home run, right? That phase 3 is an important phase. And I think everybody, depending on what your goal is for the day, it's different, right? If you're out there playing with friends at a meetup, phase three is probably hit the gas, right? If I'm going to my local and I'm trying to rebuild my bankroll, phase three is going home, right? Again, it's you got to read that as you want to read that. Okay. Now, this will happen too. You're going to get burned, right? Today is a good example. I failed twice today, right? We went out there and I PSO'd twice trying to draw down, right? I went out there for one, I had $500 in the bank. I went 160 across, PSO. Okay. Let's try it again. 160 across, PSO. Okay. Now we're down twice. I still have all the options. I have all the options available, right? My bankroll dictates what I'm going to do. I rail dumped today and we did it. We made it happen again, but there's a lot of things you can do and think about what's going to be your play when you're down. When you're down, work phase one multiple times, which is what I did. I did the drawdown. So instead of doing a hit and come down by half and a hit and come down by half, I went hit, 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 come down by half, hit, 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 come down by half, right? I worked the phase one multiple times and never went to phase two, right? I never went there because I never got even again. I used phase one to get myself even. Follow me? You can do whatever you want to, but when you're down, remember that. You can't really go to phase three when you're down unless you're going to say, screw it, I'm going to skip phase two. I'm going to go get my money back and just hit the gas and use hitting the gas at instant phase three to maybe catch fire and get my money back. That's an interesting way to approach it. Just skip the second phase and just go for the jugular earlier, right? You can completely skip your phases and go low volatility for a little bit, right? Do something simple. On the roulette table, just bet black, right? Go something 50-50 and, whatever, do a quick ladder, something like that. Recovery has a place in all this, right? You really can't go all three phases when you're fighting from underneath. And I think that's where over my career, I've gotten burned more times trying to recover by playing the same way I was playing, right? The recovery gets worse and worse and worse over time. So you've got to think about how do you phase in the recovery plan? And I think that's an important thing. Going phase one, phase two, and getting whacked is no way to recover. Trust me on that. So there's those thoughts, right? And I think when I recap my thoughts on this whole thing, right? Phasing my play, getting even, getting up, and getting out. You can play, by the way, the same strategy or system or style in all three phases. It doesn't matter. You want to sit there and same bet in phase one until you're even and say, cool, I same betted enough times. I have my money back and I had the same money out there. Great. I'm going to same bet 3 more times. Now I've locked up some profit. Sweet. Now I'm going to same bet until the shooter sevens out. Sweet. Right? What you're doing though is watching your bank, right? You can chase the trend if you want to. You can chase your losses. You can short stack the whole, it doesn't matter. How you play those phases to me is immaterial. You want to go out there and just wait for somebody to roll 2 5s and then start beating the 5 up. That's your plan. Cool. Right? Doesn't matter how you play in phase 1, 2, or 3. I don't care. Right? Go out there with a goal. I'm going to be at it for a limited number of rolls or whatever. That's fine. How you do it, it doesn't matter. Right? This is 100% about how you manage your rack as you play. And going back to that first point that I made way back on the phase 1 screen. Okay. If you're in phase 1 and you get your money back off the table, you've scored 100% profit. Remember that. That's why the paycheck's working for me, because I'm not trying to do too much, right? When you have a phase 1 win, it's 100% profit. There's no shame in taking that to the cage and being done. No shame at all in that. And I think that's something we should be considering more of and thinking more about. Okay. If you're there to elongate the day and win extra profit, everything after phase 1 to me is excess play. And you play that a different way. And that's why I look at my rack and I got it back. I got a little bit of saved up and now I'm ready to do it. I will miss, admittedly, the first 10 rolls of a shooter. If the guy goes off on 30 roller, I wasted 10 rolls getting to phase 3 sometimes. I won't even be pressing until that 10th roll very often because I'm doing things early to get even, to get locked, and then I go. To my detriment, maybe, but I'm up for my life. And there's a reason for that because I don't go out there and just go from the get like some people do. That just, again, personal preference. Play how you want to, okay? And there's that. So we can actually go to my table and do a quick little look if you want to. I'll switch it up and I'll give you like a little quick example here. Let's do it. Let me show you what I mean by this, right? And maybe I get lucky here and we'll do something, but I'm going to show you what I mean. And we'll do it with the green chips because they look cooler. Let's go 160 across, okay? And again, people will say to me, you're nuts for going across in craps, right? Well, sure. Bo Parker is the first one to say you're crazy. You don't know what the shooter's going to do. And I'm like, no, I don't, right? I don't know what the shooter's going to do, so I get them all, right? I'm going to do it like basically in anything but 7 here on a shooter because I don't know what they're going to do. I would rather, I'll fight the 7 before I fight for only the 8 or something like that, right? That's my view. Anyway, here we go. Let's roll the dice. We catch a 6-5 EO. It doesn't matter. And there is another one, 6-5 EO. The table of repeats. Let's do the Wayland thing. We'll do that. And there is a 7. Again, shooter can't get out. There's an 8. All right, we got a point. We got an 8. Cool. Let's see what it means to get out. If I can hopefully roll some numbers here, let's see if we can get out of the hand, right? There's a 4. That's beautiful. So a 3, 1, 4. Now watch what I'm going to do. A quick same bet. A little same bet. It's $50. Okay. We'll take one hit. We're going to try and get to 160 in our rack as fast as humanly possible. Okay. 3 to 4 hits will do it. Again, you can also take this and do a reinvestment. Put it all in the 4. Split it 4 and 10. Right. When I play tier pressure, it's what I do. I basically hammer this box so my wins multiply quicker. You can also just same bet them and bring it back safe. I can show you what it looks like either way. Here we go again. There's a 3, craps, 1, 2, 3. I know you can't see the dice landing, but you gotta trust me. There's a 4, 1, 5. I pays $35. That's our second hit. There's $75, $85 in the rack in. We're out here for 160. There's a 7, so we don't get it. So this is a shooter where it doesn't happen for us. But you got back part of it. You're out for 160. You're in for 85, 50% down off of that run. Let's go back out. We'll reset the rack. I'll note that we're down $80. Actually, we're down $65, but we're down $75. We'll leave it right there. There's our chase money. There's an 8. 4, 4, 8. Back to it. Let's go. Let's get lucky here, huh? There's a 6. $35. And this time I'll do tier pressure. Right, we'll do a 4 hit and gone. Right, we're gonna go up to $60 with it and just take back. And I'll do 3 full presses and then I'll be done. 6. Fantastic. They pay $70. Normally, you could be done on the repeat. We're gonna let it sit. With this $70 here, I will grab the 8 and press it up. I'll bring the rest of this back. I'll use part of that big win and get the sister with it. And we got a 10. That's our third box hit. The $50. I will split on the outsides. And here's the money shot. Can we get a money shot to win? No. 1, 2, 3. Come on, dice, do your thing. Hey, we got an 8. Look at that. We got the 8. So we took 4 hits. Hit on the 6, hit on the 6, hit on the 10, 4th hit, bye-bye. Again, it's a big shot. If I'm going to same bet it 4 times, it's the same thing. Same betting 4 times would have been $35 4 times, right? I just happen to reinvest the money. Here's $70 coming in. And we'll bring our bets back down to 160. Where do we get to? There's 150, 160. That's our starting money. Okay? That play right there, typically speaking, results in you having your same starting bets out there, plus your money back in the rack, plus a little bit of juice. There's a quarter in profit. So we have our starting bankroll. We have $65 in profit, which essentially covers our previous loss. We're $10 off our previous loss in this case. I'll put it up here. And we're effectively even, and we're playing with 160. So if you consider this and this to be a wash, you can look at your rack and say, well, I got back my 160. I'm even for the day. I'm exactly even. This represents profit play, right? We earned 100% profit, right? You got your money back and you're playing with 160. This is 100% go to the rack profit. Bye-bye. Right? That's why I say phase one is so important. Phase one is 100% win when it works, right? If you're playing phase one, even if I same betted that one, we're still going to be at 160 in profit. We're still going to be in a great, or close to it anyway. We've been damn close to being out. That's a beautiful thing, right? Phase one is 100%. But again, if you're going to play a phased play, now you're going to be in phase two, and phase two might be this. Well, there's a 7, so we get nothing out of it. Let's pretend the 7 didn't happen. I want to show you what I mean by phase two. There's a 4. Let's say the 4 rolls, right? You get that $50, right? In phase two, again, you're trying to lock up your session profit. Maybe your session profit is $100, okay? With the $50, I probably do this. I probably do like, I'll take the $6 change and I'll probably press the insides $44, right? And the reason for that is that makes everything in the inside pay $50. Now the whole table pays 50. Everything out of pays $50. So my first hit gets me to 204 across from 160, which is a great place to be. Now I can be on the $50 train, right? There's 50 for one hit. Phase two come into play. Oh, freaking 7, of course. Again, let's ignore the 7. I want to show you what I mean. When it works, you get a sense of it, right? There's a 3. Totally cheating here, right? There's an 11. Come on, dice, do your thing. Give me something. Another freaking 7. Are you seriously going to do this to me? I just want to show 2. Oh my God. Can I get a box number? There's a 9. Okay, so let's pretend, right? We got 9. It pays 50 for 1. And I'll show you what phase 2 would look like. There's $4 change for that. You would have brought back $100, right? Phase 2 is like, okay, we got our money back. We planned with 160. We used our money, our 160, to make 100 and locked profit. If that was a phase 2 without the 7s, obviously. Now I got my money back. I got $100 in profit. That's cage time. No matter what happens to me, that's going to the cage. And I got 204 across. Okay. If I wanted to, phase 3 is decision time. I can take the 204 home and cash out 304, which is awesome, right? I could take $50 off the table and say, let's cash out a nice 150. We'll work the inside for a minute here, spread out again, and start hitting it. This is phase 3. This is your kind of go for the gusto phase, right? There's the 8. That's the point. Again, it pays $50 for 1. Get the 4 and 10 back, and here we go, right? New point. Well, that'll be a 7. And again, in phase 3, you're making that call, right? Am I going to the cage or am I going home? I know I ignored a bunch of 7s, but just trying to make a point here about what you would do. Again, that's lockdown. There's a 7. Jesus, nothing but 7s today. But you can see, I think, where I was heading, right? You get your money back. You lock a little bit of profit. You do something quick to lock up your session, your day's money. That 7 doesn't bother me because I have 150, right? I'm here to win $100 today, right? I won the 100. I won extra. This was complete extra, right? And again, the smarter person probably goes home, right? Your phase 3 is to go for the ceiling. You're set up to go for the ceiling, right? And that's what I'm talking about. So again, ignore the 7s. The 7s, whatever. I wanted you to see the phases go through. If I sit here all day long and try to make a 15 roller, it'll take me all damn day. But I wanted you to get a sense of what I mean by phased play. And that's how it looks for me, right? If it works out, it works out. Get your money back, lock some profit up, hit the house, and hopefully it works out. And there it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.